Here comes trouble, here comes the danger, sent by the Savior.
It's that time, it's that time, it's that time.
Now you start recruit soldiers for Selassie army.
That man don't like to cause trouble, right?
Here comes the danger, welcome the Savior, welcome.
Special good evening to the one and the only Mr. Darrel Dookoo. Good evening, brother. How you doing? How you doing?
I real tired, boy. Good evening.
What you tired doing? What?
I was just having a threesome.
Oh, what?
A threesome. You never had a threesome?
Oh, no, I haven't been fortunate like you. How you end up having a threesome, bro?
Me, Pralu, and Roti.
Oh, well, that's a different kind of threesome.
Well, actually, it's a foursome. Me, Pralu, Roti, and a couple Lipton. 4 weeks.
Oh, my God. That is trouble, bro. That is trouble. So special good evening to you, bro. How you doing?
You don't miss having a wife, boy. When you see you work all day hard and you come home and you drive in the yard and you get hot sada roti, boy.
That's been a long time, but that's all right. I just get all of that on the weekend, so I good.
I feel you just get more than that.
Yeah, I do. So how you doing? How's everything in Trinidad? You recover from Carnival week?
Yeah, man. Everything settled down here. We broke no ass because everybody partied on everything. It have no line in KFC.
No line in KFC. Oh, so you could get it like nothing right now.
Yeah, but like apparently nobody have no money, so it have no line in KFC, Subway, Mario's, Pizza Hut, nothing, no line.
Well,
every man broke.
That's a good thing for some people, bro.
To be broke.
Yeah, well, at least the girl inside KFC don't have to throw no oil on nobody or nothing like that. She gets
nobody balls. Yes.
Yeah,
That's true.
She gets a relaxing thing. So there you go.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
plenty couture going on here. Plenty couture.
Well, that's what. Speaking of Carnival, last week we mentioned it, but it went to a different level right now, bro. I mean, this is couture on a level that's like no other in regards to Raleigh, and everybody's going mad in Trinidad. He wind up on a young girl, and then people just going crazy, blaming the girl, blaming everyone, all kind of people.
Alan, I think I don't want to live any other country but Trinidad.
Hold on, I didn't hear what you said, bro. What you said?
I said I do not want to live in any other country but Trinidad.
Oh, why is that?
But too much of fucking bacchanal. What other country you get so much bacchanal in?
Well, that's what they like, right?
Yeah, it's a bacchanal country.
So I know you did a blog and everything about that, but like I said, Darrel, my problem that I have is, right, I know people talking about the girl and things like that. Yes, she's 17 or whatever, but still, you could go in Carnival and have a good time. But I mean, even with Raleigh, I think the same thing in regards to the man went to fet, let him fet. What's the big deal with that?
Well, tonight I want to do some rowdyology.
Rowdyology, okay.
Yeah, I want to do some rowdyology. First to begin, Alan, I did that video since Thursday night, and for whatever reason, normally I have a new phone. I would normally I would sit and use the phone to do the video and then just upload.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And for whatever reason, Alan, the video don't want to upload until I had to. I think I talked to you in the night until I said, Alan, what to do? And he said, probably I have too many apps up and all of that.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
And I went on all night. Friday night, I couldn't get it on. All night, Saturday night. On Sunday, I couldn't get it on either. Eventually, I got so upset and I did a YouTube account. And I put it on YouTube as Darrel Dookoo the Entertainer. And then eventually, I just put the link on my wall. So, funny enough, I don't know, my fans apparently didn't like that at all. We only get 2,000 something views, and I would normally get 20,000, sometimes 30 or more, 30, 40,000 views, depending on if they like how much I fuck up the person. I think I really fuck up everybody on that video, and you guys didn't get to see it, and I deleted it now off my phone. And Veron just told me, he said on Sunday, he said, Darrel, I think what you probably need to do is delete Facebook off your phone and reinstall. And when I did that, that's how I uploaded the last one about respecting your pussy. You saw that video, right?
Yes, I did. I know we're going to get into your, I guess it's pussyology. Is that what it's called?
Yeah. You respecting your pussy, right?
I always do. I try to, unless I'm told otherwise. You know.
So you want to get into the Rowleyology?
Let's go ahead, bro. I know Raleigh is your prime suspect, your prime target tonight.
I have plenty suspects for that whole video, but let me start, Alan. And I would start by saying I lash my tongue without fear and favor.
Right.
The same lick down as lick down Kamla with this tongue, I will lick down Rowley the same way. I'm non-biased. I am neither PNM nor UNC. I am neither male nor female, nor Chinese, nor Negro, nor Indian. I am just neutral.
Right.
So what you get tonight, you go take.
You're Switzerland. I understand. Mm-hmm.
Right. First to begin, Mr. Rowley's is a cackahole.
Is that his Rossi name? Wow, why is it?
You have to be a jackass, a genius, a cunt. What are the nice words I could find to describe Mr. Rowley right now? You have to be a total cackahole because, first to begin, Alan, we are almost in election mode in Trinidad and Tobago.
Right.
It's signs are there. Anytime you see a government is starting to talk about what they've done in the past 5 years, know that an election is coming. Of lately, Suraj Rambachan, who is the brown nose in the party now, his nose is so far up Kamla's ass, you don't know where Kamla ends and Suraj Rambachan begins. He is starting to talk the paka assness about what Kamla has done for the past 5 years. Now, I want to send up my pressure because if you could show me some things that they have done that makes it worth it, that you could resign your job, Alan, from the States, and you and Amelia could come here and buy a house and live, then show me why people should be coming back home. Nobody, no West Indian, no Trinidadian who have left and working their ass hard off in the fucking snow, they rather their balls freeze into popsicles than to come back here in fucking Trinidad and suffer. Am I lying?
No, so far you're 100% correct in regards to it has been madness that's going on in Trinidad where people don't want to live in what's going on over there. So you are correct in your statement.
So we're on the same page. People upset.
Yes.
And my point is, I'm not bashing, well, yes I am, bashing the Prime Minister and her government. The point is, I am yet to see, and they're leaving office just now, and I'm yet to see or call out one or two items that they've done that is not a PNM idea, or it's their own idea, or they've done anything that I can be proud of and say, yes, this was done. There's only one thing that I must clap my hands for Suraj Rambachan, and that would be the Mayaro-Mantalina Highway stretch. Alan, you remember just before Christmas when we had that bad weather and we've lost the Mantalina Road? You remember that?
Yes, right. I remember that.
And I took a couple of friends, including we photo take out Sharon Maynard, to Mantalina, and we took some pictures and all that for you guys to see
exactly.
what was happening and how the road washed away and all of that. Dr. Rambachan, who is Minister of Works, and normally Rambachan irritates even the hairs in my Bamsi, falls when I hear the name Suraj Rambachan.
Right.
I must tonight give Jackie jacket, that's how they say it, Alan. Give honor where honor is due.
Right.
Hats off to Mr. Rambachan, Ballhead Rambachan, tonight, because I know how horrible that road was. We walked, Alan, I had to park my car, and we walked for miles, and there was a point where the army stopped us and said, Darrel, even though you're doing this it was for a former station at that time, I lied and said that I am a representative of the station. Well, fuck that, we no longer there again.
Right.
And I said, you hearing me, right?
Yeah, I'm hearing you loud and clear, brother.
Right. And I said we wanted to go and see. And when I reached waist height water and the current was pulling, the army advised me to say, Mr. Darrel, we don't think you should go into that. So, Alan, all those pictures I showed you was not the damage, the real damage. That was the furthest that we could have reached. So imagine further down where the army was going with boats. The road was worse than what I was showing you in those pictures. And you were bawling and saying, wow, Darrel, the road gone, it's real bad. What I was showing you was only just the start. I couldn't get to the real spot of how bad the damage was. So my point is tonight, Dr. Rambachan, over those 2 months, I would say, or 3 months before Christmas,
right.
I mean, the first thing the man did was allowed connectivity, which is what they did is grade down some coconut trees on the side of the damaged road and backfill there to allow cars to pass, because there was no way to get to Rio Claro or Miaro unless you had to make the rounds. You had to go down the highway and come through Princestown.
Right.
And if you were living, say you're living Rio Claro or Miaro and you had to come to work at San Miranda, it was the same thing. Either you go through Beach, which I did once, and oh God, no, I get car sick if it's a long distance, and I had to stop a couple times on the road and stretch and pee in the cocoa and stretch and drink a beer. And it was bad. It was horrible. And just imagine people had to do that all the time, even though the government was sending buses to pick people up. It's a 3-hour drive back to Grandy, bro.
Right.
But I must say, I did the drive about a week ago. What has happened is that the brand new road is complete, bro. And it has been well done. Hats off to Dr. Rambachan. This man has, orchestrated this thing. This has been done in a couple of, weeks? About 8 weeks?
Yeah.
They have actually put, what they've done, Alan. I don't know if you remember the stretch. That bit of highway is, one side is the beach and the other side is the river and swamp, right?
Right.
They have put in some big main pipe under the road connecting the sea and the river. So if ever the river would flood the swamp, the water could drain into the sea. And if the sea would ever reach the point of want to cross to flood the river, it passes now under these tunnels and goes straight over into the... So both the river and the sea is now connected in that way. I don't ever think, I am hoping, no, I'm not an expert, even though I'm a contractor. I don't think, as far as what I see, it's well done now, Alan. I am thinking now that we have some years of road. I don't expect this to be road with this rainy season coming in.
But you said that is it now it's safe, right, compared to what it was that few weeks
because
ago?
you see what was happening. There was no way for the water to drain. Remember, it was just flat road, but now they've built these tunnels under the road, about 8 or 9 tunnels under the road to allow the water from the river to drain into the sea, or from the sea to drain into the river and swamp. So before there was no way, so the water had no other alternative but to wash over the road and eat the pitch. And that happened several times, but this was the worst this time. But now that it's fixed in the sense that we have several of these tunnels to allow the water to pass, I am thinking even though the river floods again and bursts the banks and flood into the swamp, it will drain in these catchments and that pass under the road now back into the sea. So I think we're okay. So hats off. This is one thing that I can clap my hands and Bamsi for Dr. Suraj Rambachan. You did a wonderful job there. Now that I have praised Dr. Rambachan, he needs to shut his ass. And because there's somebody, I think you, Alan, put up this big article on my wall that Suraj is praising Kamla for all that she's done for 5 years. What the fuck has Kamla done for 5 years? I don't know.
I don't know either, bro. I don't know.
All right, they're talking about the laptops that they've given the children, and she's building the hospital and this. Anyway, let me get back to Rowleyology, yeah?
Right.
So I am saying that Mr. Rowley is an ass, a cunt, a jackass, anything else you want to call him, because this is an election year. People, whether you want to face it or not, Darrel Dookoo is saying tonight that the majority of people in this country, including Tobago, are totally disenchanted with this government, the People's Party. They're totally upset. If you talk to any man, a grassroots man, a businessman, a millionaire from Trinidad, they will tell you they're all upset. They're not seeing anything to make them want to vote for the People's Party anymore. So what I'm trying to say is that Mr. Rowley, basically, if you like it or not, Alan, the PNM is the only alternative. Nobody is going to vote for COP, rest in peace.
Right.
I don't know if you're paying attention. Nicole Dyer, who is Gary Griffith's wife, Gary Griffith was fired 2 weeks ago by Kamala. And Nicole Dyer Griffith stood up. She was the chairman of COP, and she talk up. And they got rid of her. Eventually, people got so fed up of her talking, and they said, people who support her said she was making a right stand. And eventually, she resigned. And of course, COP is towing the line with UNC because they need the UNC to breathe. COP doesn't have their own dick or heart, eh? COP is connected to UNC's dick and heart.
Really?
So if they would pull away, COP will die. So whatever Kamala says, Ramadan, they have to hush their ass and do. So that's what's going on with politics. So we know that Rowley is in position to win the election. My biggest point with Dr. Rowley is, Honorable Dr. Kate Rowley, Pete, if you're listening to me tonight, Darrel Dookoo is trying to tell you, you need to keep your caca-hole quiet. You need to shut up. That is if you want to win the election, eh, Alan?
Right.
If you don't want to win the election, well, open your ass, open your mouth, open your eye, open every damn thing you want to. But right now, if you want to win the election, I am saying to you, Mr. Rowley, close your ears, close your nose, your eye, your mouth, and your caca-hole. Close everything.
Well, you see, that's what he's putting himself in a position, because you notice that what they keep talking about, Kamala went for Shivratri and this and that, and the next thing, and he went to jam up on a woman. So, I mean, he's putting himself in a big spot. And do you think that this is enough scandal, let's say, in regards to put them in jeopardy of their forward movement that they want to make?
So, you see, I want to explain that to you, Alan. One, Rowley didn't do anything wrong. Rowley paid his $4,000 to go and wind down in a band.
Right.
I don't know for you, Alan, but I know when I go in the band and I take 2 drinks and I pay my money to dance, or in a party, or in a carnival band like Mr. Rowley did, I don't go around squeezing my wood and asking everybody their age before I put my tootie on you.
You don't do that?
Once you're in the band and I have paid my $4,000, I will wind up my balls in your backside as well as much as you will allow me to, because I have paid my money. And I'm not going to ask you if you're 60, if you're 69, 17 or 4. I am going to rub my tootie on your bamsi.
Well, you see, that's...
So, Mr. Rowley, wait, Alan, don't break. Mr. Rowley was in all his right to do that. That's one. Two, I don't think he knew that this girl was 17. He doesn't know. Well, now he knows, but he did not know at the time that she was 17 years old. I think that child was infatuated with, oh my God, this is Mr. Rowley. Let me give him away.
Right. I think that was the same thing that happened too. But she doesn't look like she's under the age of 21, bro.
But you see, that's what I'm saying. Now, my wife, I will not give you the exact age of my wife, but she's over 40. She's way over 40. Amelia knows how old Annie is. If you've seen Anne-Marie is very small, petite, and sexy. Now, don't let her fool you, because she has big assets. But she's a very petite woman. And what I'm saying is that child, as far as the pictures that I've been seeing, her pan is harder than Anne-Marie's pan. I would have thought that she was 72. I had no idea that child was 17. And she would have passed for 72 easily. I thought she was a pensioner. I have never seen a 17-year-old look so old. I'm sorry, Alan. I honestly thought she was because, anything after 70, you're living on God's grace, because God says in the Bible, 10. So that is 3 score is 20 by 20 by 20, and a 10 makes you 70. And if she looks like 72, so she on God's grace.
Well, bro, I mean, she looked a lot older than 17, but you know, I feel bad for the girl that she's getting caught up in this set of couture. I mean, she went to have a good time, just like everybody else. You pay your money, you understand? If he paid 4,000, she had to pay maybe 5,000. Female costumes is usually more money, and the girl was supposed to just have a good time. That's all.
You see, I just want to make sure as we going along that people understand the point. So one is that Rowley was in all his right as a not as opposition leader, but as a man paying to jump up in a van to do what he was doing. That's one. But I'm also saying, as opposition leader, knowing we headed into an election and it's a critical election where he could win, I would not have jumped the boat and do any fuckery between now and election to cause anybody to talk about me because I want to win the election. So if I was Dr. Rowley, I would stay home and whine on my wife or the dog. I know if you have a dog, he could whine on, or a goldfish. But don't come out the road and embarrass yourself. Stay home. And I have spoken to staunch PNM people who feel exactly like I am. Dr. Rowley, if you cause them to lose the election, they go buy a 2x4 and hit you in your ass. That's one. Two, Alan, you have a daughter. How old is your daughter?
14, gonna be 15.
Right. 17 is very close to 15, which is very close to 16, which could be close to 14. If you were my daughter, and you would want to jump in a van. Now, I don't know how people train their children, but if I had a daughter, and thank God I had none, Alan, but if I had a daughter, if you're going to FET, Darrel's daughter wouldn't be going to FET or jumping up in a van until she reaches probably 80. When she reaches 80, she could do what she wants. But once you're in my house, under 20, the only jump up you're going to be doing is under the shower in the bathroom. But she went to the FET. I would love to know where's the mother and father. They're nowhere around. But if you are jumping in a van and your Darrel daughter, you will be jumping with Darrel, and you will be jumping and whining on your peers, meaning children your age. It would be probably your classmate jumping up together. So all your friends in school who jumping up at 17, fine. I don't find that if there's your peers, it's okay. But you jumping up in a man and everybody whining on top of you, something is wrong. Where your daddy and where's your mommy? I can't understand that. Where are your parents? To get yourself in this predicament, she gets so much talk from people that she had to delete her Twitter account. But there's a bit of nastiness here. Somebody took these pictures, and the UNC, the person who's in charge of marketing for the upcoming election, tried to buy these pictures to make Rowley look bad. So you didn't care that you were going to tarnish a little Indian child, a little girl at 17. You were going to you sacrifice this girl's character to make Rowley look bad, because the truth is Rowley was just enjoying himself and this child was just enjoying herself, and there was no connection. I don't think Rowley knows her personally. Neither Rowley tried to insert his big black cock inside her. It was no connection of cock and pussy there.
Right. It was just a regular...
There was nothing indecent. It was let's take a wine and a choke and a lime. And she was just elated to know that she was jumping up with the opposition leader. They took this picture and they made fuckery out of it.
And that's what I agree with that, because I mean, like I said, bro, she doesn't look 17, and you know, DJ Red, one of our guys, is like, he says that's the same thing. You know, that's how guys get in trouble when these girls and them don't look their age, right? And that's the thing. But you know, like I said, she paid everybody. How much people was playing mass? How much people was jumping up for carnival? Thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people, right? And I know there's more younger people on the road that was getting jammed up and this up and that up and stuff like that. But they tried to exploit the situation of this young Indian girl, right, dancing up with the opposition leader, and that's what they tried to make it. And I feel bad for the young girl in regards to people are really going after her in regards to it's like her fault. And it's not her fault. These are just two people having a good time.
That's my point, but I'm still saying as a parent, I look at it in the angle of a parent. I don't want my child out there. And the silly thing is, I don't know what's happening with parents these days. Alan, I know how strict you are with your daughter, and believe you me, I am strict with David. Again, it comes up to your parenting skills and what you've learned from your parents that you're passing down to your children. There's some things David know not to ask. He only 10, Alan, he go be 11 this year, but there's some things David know well not to come to ask daddy, because it will be a no.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You know? And those are things that, I mean, Alan, when we were growing up, we used to think that daddy and them were real strict boy, and you know, you would say, oh God, boy, it was hard. But I think I worse now with David than what my dad was with me, you know.
Well, but here's what, Darrel, right? The thing is, we all do things to protect our children. That's what any parent would do, right? And depending on what's going on and depending on the situation, as well as where we're at. I mean, David is young; he's under 10. Correct. Now,
right.
There's other, and speaking of that, we'll get into that in a second. But there's definitely things you have to protect a 10-year-old compared to, like, for instance, my daughter's 14, compared to somebody who this girl is like 17, right? For instance, let's say this girl is a top student, all high levels and everything like that and whatnot. She has developed a very good sense of trust with her parents and thing. They said, okay, there, you want to go and play maths for $6,000? You earned it. You did good in school, blah, 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 this, that, the next thing. Go ahead and enjoy yourself, right? She didn't go with no malice thinking, oh, well, I'm going to take on a picture with Rowley or Kamla or whoever the hell it may be, you know, and this is what, we have different levels in regards to trust that builds with our kids, and this is one of the things that end up happening. This young girl, you know, got the trust from her parents to go jump up in a band and have a good time. And look what ended up happening, you know? I
totally agree with what you're saying, but I want to add this. Again, I'm looking at this as a father, probably looking at this as, I don't know, boy, I'm probably getting old, but I am not, and I am sure there are people here going to agree with me. Me as selling my 17-year-old out there, I don't care how good you're doing in school, and I'm going to reward you. If you're going with me as a 17-year-old, you're jumping in the same band, and I am going to be watching you.
Well, yeah,
but
that's you and that's
we,
me.
Because of what's going on in this country with sex, Alan, you see what happened. I just spoke to you an hour ago, and I tell you about what's going on here with children. Yes. Our children are vulnerable. Everybody wants to bull children in Trinidad. I don't understand this nastiness. You know, so many nice big women, and again, it's all of as you were now saying that Red and them fellas tell you when they looked at the picture, they can't ascertain how old or how young this child is, and men get in trouble because if a girl is not in uniform and she's dressing like a big woman, you will shut down the girl and don't realize that she's underage, and you could put yourself in a lot of trouble.
Right.
I once got into trouble like that, Alan, where I real shut down this person, and eventually she took me home, and I was very happy because, you know, I mean, you're young, you're one sex, and so I was trying to put on my first condom, and you know, it was a I don't know for you, Alan, the first time I tried on a condom, it was a tedious, very tedious process, because you see, I didn't realize condom comes in different sizes.
Okay.
And my condom, the pack back black, and I thought it meant the color, but apparently it's not the color. And when I tried to put it on, it was like a blanket. And I then realized that when you go to the pharmacy, you have to ask for the Indian condom, not the black condom. And when the lady realized I was having problems, so she leaned over, she said, "What you trying to do?" I said, "Well, I'm trying to put on a condom." And she said, "No, we have no need for that." I said, "How do you mean we have no need for that?" She said, No, you don't need a condom." And I was confused, and then she said, "Hold on," and she reached over in her bag and pulled out a driver's permit, and when I sat down there and I couldn't ascertain her age, she handed me a calculator, and I worked it out. She was 74.
74?
Yeah.
What the hell? You're robbing grandma, boy?
Boy, that ain't grandma, not like great grandma.
Oh, God. Jesus Christ, boy.
So there was no need for a condom there. She said her cycle disappeared in the early 40s.
Longer than you, her cycle disappeared. Longer than how old you was.
Yeah, she said her monthlies disappeared with her last car in Austin, Cambridge.
Oh my God. All right, Darrel, boy. You. I feel bad for you, brother. I feel bad for you.
So Alan, check it now. So we've discussed Rowley in that sense. So I think you would agree that if you're going into an election and there's a fair chance of you winning, you wouldn't do anything to jeopardize that, right? So that's one.
Exactly.
So that girl needs proper parenting, and I think it was a bad decision to probably jump up on Rowley because they used that. I'm talking about the UNC activists using that to propel all of this bullshit that's happening now with this child, and I'm so sorry for her. That's that. The next tune is Satmaraj.
Yeah, that was some stupidness. Yes.
Alan, I would want to clear something up, and I am sure the Indian activists here will understand what I'm saying. I can remember my grandmother came on a boat to Trinidad, and Ma was saying that it's only working class people. We all know that. Anybody here want to refute me? We could call Dr. Brinsley Samaru. Is he still alive? And he's one of those people that is a history man, and he's going to agree with what I'm saying here, that something is wrong. No Maharajas came to Trinidad. It's only Maharaj came to Trinidad.
Right.
So this walking around saying I'm a Maharaj, something is wrong. When they ask you what your name was, you just made that up and you decided to say Maharaj, which means king and royalty. That's not so. Only laborers and working class people came to Trinidad as laborers, working class people. So first to begin, Satmaraj is a fraud if he's saying Maharaj is his surname. Right? Let me clear that up.
Right.
Secondly, this man is the eighth wonder of the world. I keep telling people that this is the only man that I know have two rectums.
Two?
He has one where it's supposed to be, one rectum where it's supposed to be, and the other rectum is in his throat. He has a rectamial throat.
Oh, well, there you go. No wonder he talks so much.
Exactly. That's my point exactly. And then I want to clear something up. Tuntun does not speak for the entire East Indian community. Not all Indians are stupid as Satmaraj, eh? Not all of us. We have a few of us that went to school. We have a couple degrees and all of that, and we are not linked to Satmaraj or that gene pool in any way.
But he does make a lot of stupid statements, bro. A lot. He's making more stupid statements than sense.
I am so embarrassed sometimes when this man talks because I think the black community in Trinidad think all of us do this the same way.
I don't know, man. This guy is he's really out there. And then, I know the direction he was taking it is that how, once again, they talk about Kamala going temple, doing this, doing that, and, staying out of the limelight, I guess, let's say. And Raleigh was jumping up and waving and getting on bad. But you see, this is the thing. Kamala had her days too where she was,
It works both ways. For
Yes.
Christmas, Mr. Rowley goes to church. He's Catholic, I think. It was a holy time around that time for East Indian people who are Hindus. So Miss Bissessa went to temple, right? Isn't that correct?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Right. So if she went to temple around at that time, obviously she's probably not drinking and she's not going to fete and she's not probably jumping up. But there were times that Miss Bissessa is an embarrassment. I know the car PM1, which is supposed to be Prime Minister 1, which is her number plate on the car, they wanted to change it to VM1, which is Vomit Mobile 1. Because when she drinks at parties, she would vomit down in the car, including the driver. I know the driver personally is somebody from up by me. And she would vomit in the fucking car and vomit on the man. The policeman who is her driver.
Bro, I mean, this is, I heard stories, like I said, I don't live there, so I don't know, but I used to hear some stories in regards to how exactly that her amount of, how can I word it nicely? The amount of alcohol she used to consume was very excessive. Yes, that I did hear.
That's horrible. That is horrible.
Yes, and it is sad that they have all this kind of mudslinging, let's say, because that's what's going on back and forth. There's a lot of mudslinging, and it's probably only going to get worse because I think there's another month or two before they make that announcement. Is that correct?
It is supposed to be called by July, Alan. I don't understand why they're holding off so long. By now, they should be in campaign mode. It's a bit shocking. I think they're going to hold out till September, and she's going to probably pull this out of her pocket as close as possible that she could legally hold it by. And then they're going to be rushing to campaign within 2-3 weeks, and that will be the end of it.
But what's going to happen? What are you going to do in regards to if she ends up winning again?
I am going to buy a house in Grenada, or I'm going to ask Amelia if she has a spare room. Where's Amelia living?
In Tampa. Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm going to see if I could get into Tampa or Tampon and get out. No, but okay, seriously, I would be disappointed because I haven't seen, and it's not that I don't want UNC to win again, it's just that I haven't seen growth for 5 years, and I'm worried because of the and I keep saying this every show, Alan. We are not we are in trouble because of oil reserves, and we are in trouble because of oil prices, and we are not investing money into agriculture or anything else or tourism that might make some money for us. All we're doing is building buildings and box trains and highway. We open highway too bad, there's a new bit of the highway again, Alan, that's completed that they're about to open this week.
A new one?
You remember they're building a bit of highway that going all the way to deep south, right?
Oh, right. Yes, that's correct.
And every time they do about 100 feet or 200 feet or 300 feet, they do a bigger bit of celebration and all of that and open that leg of highway. Mm-hmm. So the last piece was up to Pinal, and I don't know where they've reached. I think they're heading on the way to Cedrus or something like that. I will get that information for you next week. But there's an article on the paper saying that another leg of the highway is completed, and it's ready to fanfare to open.
Well, I mean, let them. They just want to party for everything. So I don't understand how come they want to party for when a road is opening, Darrell. That's crazy.
And you see, what they Satmaraj is saying is that you're making the comparison that Rowley jumped up that day, and Kamala was in Temple that day. But there are some things that Kamala is doing that it's embarrassing. I would never open my mouth and talk about that, knowing that she vomits all over the place. And you can't run the government. Every 2 weeks we have to hear that you're fired. You have to fire somebody for some fuckery that somebody has to go home. So it is not making any sense. Mm-hmm. That whole issue. There's some things that Satmaraj needs to know he's not supposed to talk. There's some things happen, Alan, that you're supposed to stay quiet. You see this election coming? This is going to be a violent election because the PNM, they're totally upset and they want to try to win the election. And the UNC wants to hold on to the position, and it's going to be a lot of racial slurs and that kind of thing. I think with all the talk I talk in now, Alan, around the election time, two of us would need to stay mum about politics. I would evade the whole thing.
Well, you go get in trouble. I can't get in trouble. So there's only you. There's only you that is look for.
Well, they can't even sue me, Alan. They come here, not my name. Unless you like balls, yeah, I could give you some.
Well, you know what? One of the things, Darrell, that I had wanted us to touch on. I imagine we got 20 more minutes left, and then DJ Ali's coming up next at the top of the hour. But one of the things...
How much more minutes?
20 more minutes left.
I thought we own this station, boy. We can't just kick off somebody and continue talking.
Nah, man. But listen, Darrell, I know that they had some bandits go to Port of Spain, right, the other day, and they robbed $30 million in a jewelry store. Is that correct? And they cut through the wall.
I understand how possible that was.
Yeah, they cut through a wall, right?
I think people watch too much TV, Alan.
But I don't.
Honestly, or they watch too much TV.
I don't know.
It's they locked up and they're saying they have an alarm system, which I don't seem to understand. If you have an alarm system, you must have motion sensors that will go off. How is it possible that these fellas took a grinder from an empty upstairs office,
Right.
and they got in by using a grinder and cut the wall, Alan, and got into the safes, cut the safes, take all the jewelry, and disappeared the same way they got in, and didn't interfere with the doors with the that's connected to the alarm, so no alarm went off. You don't find that weird?
I don't understand how the hell is that possible, especially someplace like in Trinidad and Tobago, and to be in Port of Spain where it's constantly busy. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, the people who have pawned their jewelry, let me give you an example. The chain that I have is probably worth 20,000, and you say you're in a jam and you've gone to the pawn shop and you pawned it for $1,000 to pay it back in a couple of weeks, right?
Right.
What the people who have lost their jewelry is saying that they don't want to hear anything about, because the pawn shop is saying they're going to give them back what they've lost, which is, well, not what they've lost, what they've borrowed, which is, say, as I just said, like I said, about $1,000, I would pawn my jewelry for. Mm-hmm. They don't want that. The people saying that they want the full value of the item. What do you think, Alan?
Well, I know you can't get full value of your item. I would understand half. I mean, if it's $20,000 and they're going to give you $1,000, that's insane. But I mean, if they say, okay, I'll give you 10 or maybe even 5, I understand that. Mm-hmm.
They said that all they're honoring is what you've borrowed against the item.
Okay, I got you. Mm-hmm. Which is okay if that's all you want to borrow against it. Yeah. I mean, it's
but the thing is, you've just lost a $20,000 chain or a $10,000 ring or a $50,000 band against what you've borrowed, a couple $100 on it.
Right, so it's collateral.
You're making me wonder now, Alan, if, and let's not hope that the owners had something to do with this,
But if you're saying that that's what they're doing, that, okay, I'm a $20,000 chain, I'm giving you $1,000, right? And that's all you're borrowing.
That's what you borrowed against it.
Right, that's what you're borrowing against it. Or, you know, whatever, a TV or whatever the case might be. Yeah, something doesn't seem right, bro. That seems very, very...
You know, I don't want people to shoot up my house tonight, but I am saying I find it very weird that... you know, I wouldn't be surprised if they say, you know, the owners involved. It is too crazy for all of a sudden that so much cutting and so much noise that a grinder would make to cut a hole into the wall. You're talking about cutting a hole in a big concrete wall, you know.
What time of the day was that done? What time? That was in the middle of the night?
Say that again?
That was in the middle of the night. What time of the day did that happen?
Well, apparently it happened in the night. Next morning when they got to work and they got in, they realized that the floor was cut from upstairs to get in the downstairs. And the safe, the safe and them, they cut off the wall in the safe and got into the safe. But those things make noise. I'm a contractor. I have grinders. As you hit that to the wall, Alan, if you're doing that in the night, it's going to, or in the day, it's so noisy. Everybody would hear you.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. That's a lot of noise and Trinidad floors and stuff like that. It's solid concrete and it's thick. It's not like it's you know, thin or weak. That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, man. Something is wrong there. Something they're not saying the truth, but something is wrong there. There's a lot happening there that we don't know. But I suppose, well, the police they're investigating and they're gonna tell us what's happening later on. I was just reading a story about a girl who left home, and the people went to the police station and said she's missing and all of that. And lo and behold, 2 days ago, she called to tell them she's all right. Everything good.
Just like that. So she was
missing. But the story behind that, Alan, it has to be a woman won't just A woman will just leave her children, Alan, and leave her husband, and just go disappear. And there's only two reasons you're going for that. You're going to get 30,
right,
or you're getting licks home.
right.
And I am wanting to believe it's licks you're getting home.
Well, why do you want to believe that?
It is a norm. Everybody's saying she's crying, and when you hear all these stories and all of that, it sounds like domestic violence. You know, I'm wary of that. There's an issue happening where Mr. X, I can't call names because it's too close. Mr. X is bullying Miss Y, and then he separates from Miss Y and decides to bull Miss Z. And one day, while bullying Miss Z, you're following my story, yeah?
Yeah, I got you.
One day, Mr. X was bullying Miss Z, and Miss Y came home and catch Mr. X on top Miss Z, and Mr. X got angry and well caught Miss Y tail for coming and disturbing his bullying of Miss Z.
But what did
now,
you
real licks are talking about she get licks with cuff and kick and slap and
damn.
And she get beat with hose and they know I'm talking about a garden hose, you know, the metal piece that goes into the pipe.
Right.
She get licks with all that, Alan. And listen to me, I was so distraught that listen, I am not used to violence, and I've never seen my father even raise the penis at my mother.
Right, he was
my father is a real cucumber. You remember my father is a reverend, you know.
Right.
We don't know anything about violence. I never hear my parents quarrel. My mother mouth big like mine, so I hear my mother quarreling. But that's a normal thing with our side of the family. We mouth big, and if you ask family, I talk like a quarreling all the time. But I have never seen violence in that way, Alan. And I got scared. I literally got scared. And I pick up the phone and I call Annie in school. I said, babe, this happening right now. What did she say? Go back in your house and lie down. That don't concern you. And that was Anne-Marie's advice. And
she tell you run,
this thing beating me, Alan, it worrying me. And I am saying, you know, women, protect yourself. You don't need to be taking this just to own a man. And you know what is the worrying thing about this? The characters in my story are real characters, one, and two, they're all under 20 years of age.
Well, that's crazy. Well, you know, speaking of that, right, under 20 years of age and a kind of violence kind of thing, I had put a video on your wall and stuff, and the video was a young girl. She looked like she's in her early 20s, right? If not, she's definitely not over her mid-20s, right? Very good-looking girl and thing. She's naked on the bed, right? And her boyfriend is videotaping from his phone. He just walk on the girl, right? And the girl is crying, and she's like bawling, "Oh God, you're so bad, you're so bad." How, you know, her private area is really hurting her, right? And stuff like that, and that how he really basically he mashed her up, right? And he's videotaping her. He's like, "Well, you know, when you was getting it, you wasn't complaining that it was hurting and stuff like that. Let me go for a next rounds." And she's crying. Oh God, oh God, oh God. No. You're so wicked. You're so bad. It's hurting. And she crying and she rolling on the bed and everything like that. And he only laughing at she. And then he posted this thing on Facebook. And like I said, the girl is naked as she born. You understand? And this is where women are letting these guys, your significant other, do this kind of madness. I'm not talking about the rough sex part of it, but in regards to why the hell did you embarrass your girl to that extent to put this video up on Facebook or wherever the hell you put in the video? That's just stupidness.
It's the same thing of the video. My last video I put up, was it yesterday morning, when I'm talking about respect for pussy. Alan, the respect goes both ways. I think we're having a problem where women are not respecting themselves enough to say no to certain things. I am saying, I didn't finish the story with the three letters, Y and Z. And let me just finish it to make this other point that we now getting into, which is Madam lie down on the bed inside and saw Mr. come outside and beat his ex. And if you're Miss Present and you watching through the window and see Miss X getting licks, you don't think your cut ass is next, Alan?
Yeah, well, yes, you're in line. You're in line.
That is wrong for you to pick up your ass and cut road. No, she stayed. And we were sitting having a cup of tea recently, about 2 or 3 days ago, when she got her ass well cut. And I looked at Anne-Marie, and Anne-Marie looked at me, and I said, well done. Well done. Because we knew it was coming. You can't expect to be with a man who is violent and do expect to get licks eventually. So what? You think because he beat the ex, he loves you so much he wouldn't beat you? No, brother. No. No. From the time you see a man start hitting, it's like dog that's sucking egg or man that's taking prick. The Pentecostal churches tell you these born-again Christians that homosexuals, once the Holy Spirit touch them, they they get straight. Once you start sucking tootie, that don't ever change. Once you start sucking egg, that don't ever change. Men who beat don't ever change, Alan.
I agree. I agree with that statement, bro. And you need to take yourself out of that situation. It's not like, oh, he this or that or whatever. It's gonna be a constant situation. And you know, one of the groups.
But if you see why, in God's name, Alan, you actually seeing red flags. You're seeing what has happened to the person before you. Why are you going to wait in a relationship where you get a fucking hose in your ass too?
Or get killed. You never know what level he might take it to. It's happened. You understand? The anger level has progressed. So, okay, he beaten this one senseless right now. And let's say when it's your rounds as number Z, right? She might catch it to a level that she go get damaged in the hospital or maybe even get killed. Who knows?
You know what my issue is? If you're under 20 and you're so violent and you don't have anything, and you could imagine, Alan, when that young man starts getting, you reach a point where you have a mortgage for your car and you have a mortgage for your house, and at that same month your cable bill and your phone bill and your light bill and a ticket for the car and your battery in the car gone, and you probably need to buy tires, and then your baby gets sick, and all these bills, just, you know what that could be like, right? Just imagine all of that happen at the same time.
Bro, I'm telling you, it's crazy. It is.
So if you're under 20 and you're so violent, when all of those bills, you know, when real life hits you 25, 26, 27, you'll kill you, man.
Well, you see, bro, like I'm telling you, man, it's only gonna get worse. Because if you're doing it now, it's gonna get worse later on.
You see, Alan, as I was saying in the video, I don't know if you took time to look at it. I am, and a lot of people in Radio Land are probably agreeing with me. The violence, oh my God, Alan, it is, I know the hour coming up here, but Lord, it is changing where in the old days, Alan, when you meet somebody, I don't know how it was with you, with your first wife, but with Anne-Marie, it was me courting, months of sending flowers, months of going to dinner, months of spending money on good cards and writing poems to make a bull. Now you meet a girl in a club, you buy a carib for she, and by the time all you're walking down the step, you're totally inside, she going down the step.
Yeah, right, nowadays.
So I would say women don't have respect for themselves to put up. Long time you can't remember, I don't know, women used to, no, but they want it, yeah, but you know, they're paying hard to get, no, not now. We now start this relationship. That's about you spending fucking money for a year behind the woman going to a restaurant, Alan, and you can't even get a bowl yet. No. You know, if she want to see a ring and she want to know when is the wedding date before you get anything. I think the sanctity of a good relationship and the sanctity of marriage gone.
Yeah, it has. Because there's no respect, there's no anything right now. None.
I thought we were going to take calls tonight, bro.
We've just been going and going. That it's just been time has gone. So we'll do calls on Thursday for In Bed with Darrel and Amelia. 855-4-WE-TING. So live calls on Thursday. We'll make sure and put that out there. I know we just got the line, so also when our DJs are on and things like that. But yeah, Darrell, time just went, bro. Time just went.
Well, the good news is you're gonna be able to you're gonna be able to hear and see us live. We're booked. We are sure we are on March 30th at Center of Excellence, the Andre Camperveen Hall at 7 o'clock sharp. March 30th. Tickets go on sale early next week, Alan.
Yes, early next week. Tickets are going on sale. Advanced tickets are $300, and then after the 15th, tickets are going up to $400. Mm-hmm.
Right, and we have some special to tell you about what's going to happen and who is going to be on stage with Darrell. Mm-hmm. We are expecting a visit from Patial Rice.
From who? I'm sorry?
Patial Rice.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, she's going to be on stage.
Okay.
So you guys need to come and see what's going on, man. It's going to be awesome. I think it's going to be a shocker when we finish the show. We would have to get a couple ambulances to escort people out and take them to the emergency room. Some of them might be peeing themselves. Some of them jaws drop and can't close them out. It is going to be an awesome time. And I'm one of those people. I want to walk through the crowd coming down to the end of the show, Alan. I want the lights on, and I want to walk down the crowd and say hello to people and interact the last probably 20 minutes with everybody on that come.
Right.
It's not just going to be a stage thing. I want to be able to walk through the crowd and interfere with people.
Yeah. Well, this is what next week's show. Next week, True Talk. Once again, we're taking calls 855-4-WEETING, and then we're also gonna announce the acts and everything like that for the live show. So it's once again March 30th. Showtime is at 7 o'clock. If you live outside of Trinidad and Tobago, you can still fly in. Come in. The show is on the Monday. You understand? It'll be a good couple of days off. Let us know beforehand. We're trying to organize some different kind of things for those of our fans and them that are coming in. But really and truly, it's something that we can't wait for. I mean, I know, Darrell, you're excited. I'm excited. The planning stage, Amelia, the whole Wheating family, because I let them know about some of the stuff that's going on, and we can't wait. We also got a couple of our DJs out in Trinidad. DJ Seach and DJ Carter is going to be up inside of their live. As well as, like we said, next week we're going to announce some of the things. So Darrell, before we go, anything you want to say, brother, before we switch over to DJ Ali?
I just want to say thank you, as usual, to everybody. But one person in particular tonight, Jason Ketwaru. Jason is my rocker. Jason is the person that runs my company, NX Consultants. And Jason is the guy who makes me being on radio possible. He makes my day very easy. Like today, Alan, I was on the road today going from job site to job site, and when I got to Jason's job site at 11 o'clock, the gate of the client's house was closed, and I said, oh my God, Jason, they didn't come to work today. How disappointing. And I pick up my phone in the car and call him to cuss him, and I say, well, what happened? You all didn't come to work today? And he said, boss, we finished. We got on the job site 4:30 in the morning and started to mix concrete. Jason, they left Sandy Grande at 2 a.m. to get on the job site by 4 a.m. So by 9, they were complete doing what they were supposed to do. I am so proud of Jason and who Jason has become. And how Jason supports me. Well, you've met him, Alan.
Uh-huh.
He is my right hand. And tonight, I just want to say thank you, Jason, because if you were not supporting me that way, I wouldn't have the energy to come at night and have 2 shows on the radio. Thank you so much for your support.
Right. So definitely, thanks going out to Jason. Also, I know some people are writing some messages, $400 for a ticket and stuff like that. Let me tell you, when we bust the files in regards to what's in store for the live show, $400 is an understatement. Also, Darrell, Friday is Veron's birthday, and tomorrow is our very own DJ Soundtech's birthday. Tomorrow.
Wow, that's really nice. Happy birthday to you guys from all of us at Wheating. We gotta get something for them thing.
Well, we'll organize something because this weekend is Ting Chutney in the Park this weekend. So don't worry, we got Ting. We have Ting for them. So Darrel, let me get ready to go.
When Veron comes, I'm hoping Veron come in for the show in March. We go have a thing waiting for eating to put the thing in that thing there.
Well, we gonna have something for him to put the thing in. So here's what we getting ready for DJ Ali. Coming up next. So we going. All right, Wheating, stay tuned, stay locked on. Don't go nowhere.